Earlier in the hour, we talked to Paul, who's the co-host and co-writer and co-producer of this series that's running on Canadian television called Ghost Cases. Paul, you've been comparing some of these stories with some of the things that you experienced. What do you hear so far?
Well, the one about the door is interesting because, as you say, it's a bit of a cliche in the horror film kind of thing that, the door, it always sort of
right.
and closes. That actually happened to me in the episode that we aired, that the network, aired. I don't own a network yet.
Yeah.
That they aired last week, which is actually up, if you go to your front page on Coast to Coast and follow the link, it goes to our blog.
Oh, cool.
And we have that episode up on the blog so you can watch it. What happened is, it was very odd. Holly was upstairs. It was a haunted farmhouse. Holly was upstairs with a psychic, and they were trying to contact the spirit. And everything's game for us. We'll use anything from EMF meters to psychics, anything to try and see what's going on. I was downstairs in the basement, which is supposedly haunted, all by myself. And there's this back and forth, and I could hear them through the walls, and they were saying, there's a dead baby in the basement. There's a dead baby in the basement. Well, Paul's down there. Go down and say hello and show him where the baby's buried. And in fact, people have told me it's quite funny because I'm a coward and I'm in the basement going, I don't want you to show me the baby. Don't come down here. And just as that happens, and I can tell you I was there, there's no wind, there was nothing, the door, I'd been there half an hour, nothing had happened to the door. The door behind me as I'm sitting on the stairs of the basement goes, and opens. And just as they were upstairs saying, go down and show Paul where the baby is. And I have to tell you, there's probably about 20 things in my life over the 42 years I've been lucky enough to live that have really, truly freaked me out or scared me, and that was one of them.
How about that?
Yeah.
That would qualify.
Yeah, it's just, and I'm sure, I'm a skeptic. I really am. I'm an agnostic on all this, and the part of me that's a skeptical, logical person says, well, I'm sure there must be some logical explanation for that. I went out, I thought the crew was playing a practical joke on me, frankly.
Right.
And the thing about the farmhouse door was it wedged in to close the basement door. It was hard to open. So even if there had been a breeze, it would have had to be a pretty stiff one, and there was nothing. I had heard the breezes earlier in that evening. It was still as the grave, as they say, outside. And that one really freaked me out, especially given the timing of what was going on upstairs at the same time as I'm downstairs and then this happened. So that story that I heard about, any time I hear about doors opening, that resonates with me now.
Again, you can link up to that episode then at coasttocoastam.com to Ghost Cases. This was the episode for the new Canadian television series that just aired last week. Paul Kimball is the co-host of the show and the co-investigator of these ghost stories. Is there a difference between, say, Canadian ghosts and ghosts from the United States? Are American ghosts the same as Canadian ghosts? Canadian ghosts, are they more sarcastic than American ghosts? Is there anything you've seen, or any difference in the character of the stories at all?
I think more Canadian ghosts probably speak French. But other than that, no. I mean, ghost stories. The people ask me, they say, because I've done a number of documentaries about UFOs and stuff. And people say, well, what are ghost investigating like compared to UFO stories? And I go, it's all about the search for us trying to find something. With UFOs, it's like, is there life out there, perhaps? But ghosts are the most existential of the whole lot because it says to us, is there life for us personally beyond what we have right here? And the stories that you hear across the world, when we were in the United Kingdom or the United States or in Canada, there's a stunning similarity between them, and I don't think there's any real difference. Obviously, if you're in a place in Alabama and you're in Ontario or you're in Scotland, there's regional differences, but the crux of the stories remain the same. And there's certain characteristics that you can break down and say, okay, this is what's happening here. And as you said in, I think, an earlier segment, I heard you say it with one of your callers, it often seems tied to some traumatic event. So that seems to be a common theme, too.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, we'll be following that. And I hope that when we can see that episode about the orb, because we won't be getting ghost cases down here in the United States, at least for a while. Will you put up a link on that page too and let us know so that we can let people see that? Because that would be really cool.
I will indeed. After it airs tomorrow and the network doesn't get mad at me for putting it up, I will make sure that's up there and everybody can see it at our blog.
Oh, very good. And then I'll send a note to the webmasters and make sure that they put that up so that people can see it on our webpage. Thank you so much. Paul, enjoyed talking to you. Thanks for getting us started. And everybody else, hang on. The phones are filling up for Ghost to Ghost. Your ghost stories for the rest of this night, all across North America and beyond. What life is out there? What life exists in here, somewhere deeply buried in a soul that doesn't want to let go of this earth? On Ghost to Ghost, this is Ian Punnett.